Hi, this is Joe Whitchurch, and this is Free in 3. The other day at the Midwest Bible Prophecy Conference, a friend of mine asked the panel, of which I was a part, for our comments on the passage in the Olivet Discourse where Jesus says, "Because lawlessness shall increase, the love of many will wax cold." Some, of course, all preterists apply that as something that's applied all to the past before 70 AD, and partial preterists apply most of it or part of it to the past in 70 AD. But those of us that believe that Jesus was in part talking about the second coming of Christ, his own return to the earth to rule and to reign and for his own, was talking about when anarchy increases, when lawlessness increases, the love of many will wax cold. And so I think there is some things that we can say about that, isn't there? I mean, anarchy in our own day is increasing, is actually kind of a pop celeb anarchy. Everybody loves anarchy until people are destroying your property or your family or your car or your food supply. Because, you may not like who's in office, or you might not like what this branch of government is doing or what that court is doing. So people, quote unquote, love anarchy, but really they don't. But people also are lawless towards authority of all sorts. They don't like policemen. They say policemen are executing this group or that group in public executions on the street. Some of this is, of course, hyper rhetoric, over the heated rhetoric. People don't love their own bodies. They imagine that even though their DNA tells them they're a certain gender, that they're a different gender or a different species or a different race. And so there's a rejection. The two great commandments are to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and your neighbor as yourself. But if you don't even love yourself and you reject your physicality, how is it that this is not a kind of lawlessness? And it also relates to the four Greek words. Most people are familiar with phileo, Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love; eros, erotic or passionate love; agape, God's unconditional love; but the stergos, or stergo, familial love. And sometimes in the New Testament they'll say people were without natural affection. That's the kind of affection you would have for your father, for your mother, for your sister, for your brother, for your child. And we consider the proliferation of abortion and movies like Unplanned and so forth, there is a sense that there's a growing lawlessness of being without even having natural affection. And this dehumanizes us. And it does make the love of many wax cold. It's one of the signs that we are living in the days before Jesus' coming. So if you need help in this area and your love is waxing cold and you're seduced by lawlessness, you might want to pray and ask the Lord God to change your affections, to make him your first and unrivaled first love, and to ask him for help to love people who are made in his image, even people who are radically different than you are, to love them with the grace of God with which you've been loved, and which Christ demonstrated it by dying on the cross for us while we were yet sinners, so that our hearts will not wax cold, and so that we will not participate in lawlessness, and so that we can love people according to the truth. And this is truth that sets free. Thanks for tuning in today.